Hey, Dr. McNamara here, coming at you with a Wellness Wednesday, and today I wanted to talk about the 4 different types of endurance training. Reason being, I'm running the Chicago Marathon for those of you that are not aware, and I'll be running for the Illinois Spina Bifida Association. So I would like to go over the different types of endurance training, and we're going to cover the 4 main types, which include muscular endurance training, long distance endurance training, anaerobic endurance training, as well as aerobic endurance training. So we'll get started. I just got done lifting, so I'll talk about the muscular endurance training first and how I've been incorporating that into my sessions. So muscular endurance training consists of multiple steps and a lot of reps. So the number of sets can be anywhere from 3 up to 6 or 7 sets. 7's getting pretty high volume, but about 3 to 7, anywhere in between, is pretty good. And anything above 12 repetitions to about 100 repetitions will fall into this category. And then about a minute to 2-minute rest in between sets to recover in between. So the way I've been incorporating this is I've been doing weightlifting, and I've been doing a frequency of hitting every body part 3 to 4 days a week. So I'll be hitting chest, shoulders, arms, and back and legs. And I'll do 5 sets of each of these, and I'm sticking with a 12 repetition set, and I'm slowly progressing from there in order to build that muscular endurance. I can prevent injury and have that strength to get through the race. So that's what I'm doing as far as muscular endurance. You can do this other ways. You can do it with body weight training. You can do it with any other types of lifts, but definitely do it at a higher frequency in terms of training muscle groups, different muscle groups each day, or every single muscle group one day at a time. The other type of training I want to talk about is long duration endurance training, and this is your long, slow, steady state runs. So for the marathon, these will be my weekend runs where I run up to 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours to prepare for the actual race. So it really consists, so technically it'd be 1 set, and it consists of anything above about 15 minutes or longer for the run, and it's the sustainable form of cardio. I'm using running because that's what I'll be performing for the Chicago Marathon, but you can do this with swimming, biking, etc. So anything that's really longer than 12 minutes will fall under that long duration endurance training. Now, the other 2 has to do with the different energy systems of our body. So the first one I'm going to cover is the anaerobic, and the anaerobic means without oxygen. So this is the type of training that's going to build up an oxygen debt and make you want to breathe very heavily, and then you'll recover in between. It's like interval training. So this type of training consists of anywhere about 3 to 15 sets or so, and the ratio of work to rest periods is about 3 to 1 or 1 to 3. You can play with those how you want, but the 1 to 3 ratio is going to allow for a little bit better form and quality due to the longer rest period. So keep that in mind if you're more of a beginner to certain exercises. Maybe use those longer rest period ratios. For this type of training, what you do, this is the HIIT training, so this is what I've been doing as well. I've been doing a lot of plyometrics, where I will perform a movement for anywhere about 30 seconds up to a minute, and then I'll rest for about a quarter to a third of that time, and then I'll repeat a few sets of that. So for example, let's say I'll do burpees, and I'll do burpees for about 30 seconds to a minute. Let's say I go a minute, then I would take about a 20-second break in between before doing the next set, and then I would repeat that a few times for my training session. And again, I'm doing this right now. I'm doing it about 3 or 4 times a week as well with my strength training. And then the last type of training I would like to talk about is the aerobic endurance training. Now this is with oxygen. This is what burns the most fat, as well as the training system that allows you to go the longest. So this is what I'm going to be really relying on when I perform the actual marathon. This will consist of, again, about 3 to 12 sets, and the ratio of work is similar, but with the 3 to 1 or 1 to 3 work to rest period. But this one also can include a 1-to-1 where you're working and you're resting at the same rate, and that's the one that I'm going to utilize the most, just because it's going to simulate the pace I want to run when I'm actually performing the marathon. So using the 1-to-1 ratio, the way I'm going to do this is I'll run about a mile. Maybe I'll start with an 800 for my earlier training because a mile is a little bit long, but let's say I'll run a mile, and then that mile is going to take me, we'll say about 7 to 8 minutes. So my rest period is going to be around 7 to 8 minutes, that same time it took for me to run that mile. So I'll be completely recovered, and then I'll repeat that, and I'll repeat that for a duration of time, and slowly try to progress my speed with those workouts so I can improve my overall marathon time. Those are the 4 types of endurance training work. If you want more information on this, you can look at Dr. Andy Galpin. He's a muscular physiologist, as well as Dr. Huberman. He's a neurophysiologist, and they have great information on this stuff. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment and we'll get to you. Thank you.